Okay, so let's go ahead and solve by quadratic formula. Today, when you get to the radical part, what's under the square root, it'll probably be a negative. That's the whole reason we introduce complex numbers. Okay, let's go ahead and start. Remember, x equals opposite of b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. Hey! Anyway, these are in the format ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and write my equation over here. Sorry, we're not doing this one. We have 10. I'm using x, guys. It's the same equation. I know that my v's start to look like numbers. Okay, my a is 10, my b is 6, my c is 7. I'm still suggesting that the biggest mistake you make is this right here, so I'm still suggesting you write it over here. Times 10 times 7. Negative 4 times 10 is negative 40 times 7. It looks like I'm going to get negative 280. Okay, so today when we get to negative 4ac, when we do the formula, we're going to say subbing today for negative 4ac is negative 280, round of applause. Okay, x equals, let's go ahead and plug it in. Opposite of b, negative 6, plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac, subbing today for minus 4ac is negative 280 divided by 2a. Hey, hopefully I haven't lost anyone. All I did was plug in the values that it asks for in the quadratic. Now, you always simplify what's under the radical. Before, if you got a negative under here, I told you you did something wrong because I knew I hadn't assigned negatives. But I have assigned negatives today because we know about the imaginary number. So I'm going to go ahead and combine 36 minus 280. Let's see. If you don't know, you write 280, different signs, subtract. Keep the sign of the bigger number, then you'll be exact. It looks like I get negative 244. Okay, divided by 20. Let's go ahead and prime factor. Okay, take it over to like a little sidebar, if you will. Let's go ahead and prime factor this negative 244. The first thing I told you to do was do negative 1 times 244. Now we've taken care of the negative. 244. I do twos because I'm not real smart in math, but I know how to divide by 2. All right, 2, 122. Ooh, I'm going to go outside of the boundaries here. 2 times 61. I don't think anything else goes into 61. It looks kind of primish to me. So I can write this now as the square root of negative 1 times 2, because these are all prime, times 2 times 61. Any pairs in there? Okay, come on out. Okay, now remember, I've also told you to write down the square root of negative 1 is the equivalent to I, or you can say I is equivalent to the square root of negative 1. Doesn't matter which way you write it. I squared is equivalent to negative 1. Right here, I am seeing, give me my different pencil. This is the square root of negative 1. It gets to come out. Guess what it gets to become? It gets to become I. So I just pulled out an I. All right, the 61, there's no pairs for 61. Now the only thing never mind, I'm good. Okay, so now subbing for the square root of negative 244 is 2i root 61. Yay, come on in. So take all of this out and plug that in there. So negative 6 plus or minus 2i square root 61 all over 20. Your last check is to see the 3 numbers that are outside of the radical. Are they all divisible by the same amount? Can it be reduced? And this one can be. All of these are even. They can all be reduced, divided by 2. So x is equal to, I'll divide 6 by 2 and I get 3. What's 2 divided by 2? 1. So I will no longer write the 1. It's a skinny 1. All divided by 10. There we go.